Hey, this is Matthew.
And this is Rich from RageWorks.
And welcome back to Nerd News Today. And we've got a really cool review video today for you guys. So, Rich, I know you weren't part of any of these in the past, but me and Vinny have done a bunch of these now. Today we're looking at some new championship belts from Wrestling Figure Workshop.
Oh, nice.
So what we got today, and this is your first time seeing this, I know, and the reason why I'm doing this also, kind of taking a trip back in history, is because a lot of folks might be new to WFW, especially like you, so I want to give you kind of the little overarching history of what they've done so far.
I'm all ears. Let's go.
So what we got right here is Bret Hart with the Hasbro-style championship belts. So the fine folks over at Wrestling Figure Workshop, they custom-made a bunch of championship belts of the retro style to fit the Hasbro figures.
That's pretty cool.
So this is the Winged Eagle, if you want to take a look at that. And he also made the Intercontinental Championship belt, which I've got right here, and the Tag Team Championship belts, which are really nice looking.
Props for the attention to the detail, the WWF in each area.
Yeah, it's the F, not the E.
Nice work.
And so in addition to the black style belts here, he also made blue, yellow, and white straps. So you can relive all those classic moments. I think there's also a purple as well. So you've got like all the different ones from the early 90s in there. So these belts are really sick. I love these things here. But I'm also a collector of not only the Hasbros, but of all retro wrestling figures. And so just recently, WFW made the WCW Galoob Championship belts.
Nice.
Yeah, so what I've actually got here is, just for point of reference first, I'm going to take Brett away for a minute. So what we have here is the original Lex Luger. And this is what Luger came with. So back then, all of those Galoobs, they all had this hideous belt with them. Every toy had a belt. That was cool, because the only way to get a belt with the Hasbros was to buy the ring, and you get that one belt. And
that would be it.
Yeah, and those belts were not the greatest. But this piece of crap here is what you got with Lex Luger and any other figures. And yeah, it's a pretty terrible belt.
It's really not pretty at all.
No, like it does at least close, but I mean, it's pretty fugly. So what we have today, this is the latest thing to come out. We have the Galoob style World Championship belt, which you can check out right there. And we have a pair of the Tag Team Championship belts. So the way that these are sent out is these come from the UK, and they're sent out in basically a flat envelope, pretty hard envelope, and all of your belts are going to be bagged like this with a WFW sticker on the end. They're kept flat, they're kept secure, real easy shipping, and pretty fast shipping too when you consider where they're coming from.
Yep.
Especially right now with COVID going on. I mean, they ship pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, WFW definitely did their homework. I like the look of it, especially it aligns design-wise with the simplistic design of the figure, which is very stationary, but still enough that you can recognize that it's a championship title from that particular era. So props to those guys for their work.
And this is that short-lived round glow belt that they had as well, because it's not the big gold, it's not the 10 pounds of gold or the 15 pounds of gold. This is when they had that brief period in the mid-90s when the big gold was missing.
Oh, that's right.
Remember
that's
that
right.
time?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So this is that belt.
Who was wearing that belt for that period? Because I remember it looked really strange.
Ron Simmons had it briefly. I think Luger may have had it actually as well.
Yeah, because I feel like when they did a video retrospective on Ron Simmons, he was holding the belt, and I said, "Wow, that belt looks very small."
It was a very weird belt. So, Rich, would you like to do the honors and remove the world belt from Lex Luger's waist and put on the proper world title?
This is why we need the prop trash can to drop the belt in there. Let's recreate that signature WCW moment of taking this belt and dropping it in the trash.
Where it belongs.
And presenting the total package with a better belt.
And I have the Steiner brothers over here. I'm going to put the tag belts on them because, of course, they got to be the champions.
Absolutely.
When these Galoobs originally came out, they only had that one hideous gold belt. If you wanted to get tag belts, you couldn't. You had to just kind of play pretend that they were all the tag belts. But yeah, now we've actually got proper tag belts on all these guys, and they go on pretty easy, right? Like how was yours?
Ah, easy. Piece of cake.
So that's all three of our belts together with the Steiners and with Luger. And yeah, they look really nice. And I like the fact that he decided to go with this blue shade, which is a different blue that he used from the WWF figures. That was more of a neon-y, pastel-y kind of blue. This is a deeper blue, indigo kind of color.
Really nice, actually. It actually adds a nice extra layer of personalization to the figures to make them look more in line with how they looked back then.
Good detail, solid gold color on all of them also, which really pops out as well. They go on really easy, as we mentioned, and again, when you compare it to what we got when we were growing up, I mean, yeah, no, this belongs in the garbage, so yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, in fact, I'm just gonna...
Another one goes in the pail.
Another one in the pail.
That's it.
Wonder how many we can fit in there. Well, let's find out if these belts can fit on any other figures as well, because I've got a bunch of other wrestling toys from that era that are close in scale. So
let's see what we got.
So we already know that Bret Hart can fit these belts. But how about a slightly slimmer Ric Flair figure?
There you go.
And I've got another WCW figure as well. This was from original San Francisco toy makers. This giant blob of plastic here, its head is being cut off in the B camera. This was, have you ever seen these, Rich? These were not the vibrating ones. These were hideous action feature ones. And Sting's just power walking now.
Or he's doing the Alex Wright dance.
So I'm going to see if it can fit him or not, because he's got a much bigger waist than these other Galoob figures do.
I mean, they added ample pieces to allow the belts to fit.
Yeah, you can see there's a lot of space, a lot of wiggle room on this, which is nice. And not only that, we've also got a Bend-Em. So these guys also came out not too far around from the same time of the other figures here. We're going to see if we can fit a Bend-Em. And because I'm in a Flair mood, we also have a much more recent version of Ric Flair from the WWE Retro line.
Here we go. That's a good way to show off that belt.
And in the process, Ric Flair lost his hand. That's how hardcore this Ric Flair figure is.
That's it. But it works. I mean, the posability works, and the belt looks really good. The reason why I kind of wanted to get that pose was because for scale, like, it looks very natural.
It does, yeah. It fits pretty nicely.
Yep.
From the rafters. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good, too. That actually looks really nice.
Yeah. That actually does work quite well.
I don't think they made belts for this line at all, but this actually kind of works. I mean, it's a little small, but it does fit, so that's not bad. I'm okay with that.
Yep. It does work.
Here's our Just Toys Bend-Em Austin. That also actually works perfectly. I mean, this one is a little big for him, in fact. You can see it's got all the straps almost used on it, but it still fits. It still kind of works.
It works on this Flair, too.
Oh, that looks really good on the Flair. Yeah,
yep.
It fits perfectly on the retro figures from Mattel. That looks really good.
Yep.
And last but not least, our good friend, the original San Francisco toy maker, Tommy Dreamer.
That's it.
From their ECW line, which we have been reviewing for quite some time. If you guys haven't seen our ECW reviews, you better check them out. Here he is with a tag team championship belt. That also is a perfect fit. This is a surprisingly good fit as well. This looks really good, because these toys are a lot bigger than the Galoobs. You can see here for comparison.
Yep.
They're a lot bigger, but that fits just perfect.
And the detailing, again, falls in line, looks good at a glance, and especially if you're a fan who really messes around with their toys on a consistent basis, you can display them with the belts very easily, which is nice. So, just for the sake of posability, you could do something like that and have Flair holding the belt, but the best part is that the belt does fit this version of Ric Flair perfectly. There's Ric Flair with the belt on, natural fit for the legend with the championship title. Looks good.
Here's our Steiners with the tag belts. Everything works pretty good. So these are pretty good. They actually run a breadth of sizes, which is nice and surprising. Like, we already knew that they fit the retros, but I didn't really know that they fit the Bend-Ems. I didn't know that they could easily, more or less, fit
those guys too.
These giant blobs of garbage. And they fit the ECW figures, which is good too. Which actually brings me to my next point, because at this point now, Wrestling Figure Workshop has done WWE. They've done WCW. I want their next belts not to be more WCWs. I want ECWs.
Belt.
Because when the ECW belts came out, all we really got was the TV title and the World Heavyweight Championship.
That's right.
We never got tag belts. And granted, there's not that many belts they could make, but I wouldn't mind some different belts. Or at least just belts that are in this style, because I think they would have looked really cool too.
I'd like to see a WCW TV title.
I would like that. I mean, yeah, I would like that. A US title also would be good. Those are good looking belts.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's definitely more he can do, but I want to get some ECW next. So that's our look at Wrestling Figure Workshop's latest championship belt creation, which is the WCW World Heavyweight Championship belt and tag belt. And there's a bunch of different ways you can get them. I'm going to have links in the description below where you can find these toys. And also make sure to follow Wrestling Figure Workshop on Instagram, because that's when he announces all of his sales, when stuff is getting made. He shows off some of his custom work as well. So that's really the place to be if you want to look for belts like this for your figures. And let him know what belts you want as well, because I'm clearly campaigning for ECW belts here.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you want the ECW belts, definitely reach out to Wrestling Figure Workshop, get in his ear so that Matt can get some ECW belts for future reviews, guys. We'd really appreciate it.
And here's another WCW belt going in the bin.
That's it.
Because we've got the best ones right here. So thanks for watching this video about the Wrestling Figure Workshop Championship belts. If you're new to our channel, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to see all the other content we do here on Nerd News Today. So until next time, I'm Matthew.
I'm Rich from RageWorks.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
That works.
There you go.